Everyone should know how to do CPR because you'll never know when you're gonna need it.
I went on a walk with a friend after a long, stressful day. We were probably halfway through our walk when I heard a scream, unlike anything I had ever heard. There's a man face down. There's a woman very obviously in distress.
We were at a dancing event. We had been celebrating our friend's birthday. I feel like I probably heard somebody yelling for help, but I remember turning towards them and Sherelle was already on the ground.
No one was really doing anything. And I remember my friend saying, "Do we need to go up there?" And I said to her, "No, no, not us." There is nothing that we have that those other 4 people don't have. And probably 30 seconds passed and I realized that I did have something that those people didn't have, which was the ability and the knowledge to perform hands-only CPR. I began performing CPR and it really came back like muscle memory.
I don't feel like I started chest compressions as fast as I should have. I'm an ER nurse, like I know to start chest compressions. Like I'm feeling for a pulse and I'm like, why can't I not feel a pulse on my friend?
For an adult, we're trying to get the compressions 2 inches deep on the chest, which for me is all the strength I have. So after a minute or 2, I remember looking at the man next to me and grabbing his arm and saying, "It's your turn." And so I guided him through physically the pace that he needed to go, the depth that he needed to go until EMS professionals arrived.
The first chest compression I did on her chest, and I was like, she didn't budge. I was like, this is real. The AED was there. After we shocked her and I was still doing chest compressions, I didn't think she was coming back.
I wasn't necessarily feeling hopeful. Out of hospital cardiac arrest, 9 times out of 10, the person does not survive. I actually got a text that night that said, "He came in with a pulse thanks to you."
It was my last 30 of 30 chest compressions that I was just yelling at her, like, breathe, just breathe. And then the paramedics got there and at that moment she had a pulse and she was breathing and 4 days later she had a quadruple bypass. If we wouldn't have started chest compressions within 30 seconds, she would have died.
Every person should be able to know how to perform this life-saving skill.
Because of this, I did go and get my certification to teach other people on how to do CPR. It can happen to anybody at any time, and knowing how to respond and to do good quality chest compressions can literally be the difference between life and death.
Compressions can only help the outcome for the patient.
Being scared is okay. Even as a nurse who's done this for 20 plus years, it's still a scary situation, and the important thing is to act.
What if that had been my husband? What if that had been my dad? And no one knew what to do. That person was a grandfather. He got to continue being a grandfather. This family was granted the gift of time, and to know that I got to be a small part of that has changed my life.
I support the American Heart Association because I feel like everyone should know how to do CPR. And the only way to do that is by education and by learning and practicing.
If I can do it, anyone can do it.